my cousin Chance, the quarterback coach now, was the quarterback here last year, and he's told me a little bit about Coach V Hill and how well ran the program is and how good we're going to be next year. And they gave me an opportunity to come here, and I jumped on it, and looking pretty good so far. It's not done yet.
I like that. And Eli Pittman, defensive back from Arizona,
Yes, sir.
I believe, correct? And you've been here since day one.
2019.
2019. Who recruited you?
Coach Leo.
Okay, see, that's that. I know you play hard for him, don't you?
Oh, yeah, every day.
Every day. And you're done, right? This is it for you.
This is my last semester.
That's
yes.
it.
They can't find another year somewhere, or
I was looking for some, but
for the seventh year hardship.
Yeah,
if you go to their website and look under his bio stats, they have his year by year by year by year, man. If they could find another one for me, that would be a miracle.
It would be. I'd take him.
Yeah, we'd all take you.
Well, you kind of got the party started on Saturday with your big pick there along the sideline. Tell us about that play.
it was a little cover 2 play. I'm just jumping in the out route, and I'm like, oh, he ain't throw it yet. So then I just retract and just made a play on the ball.
Well, that's kind of we thought the key going in the game, Phil, was turning them over a little bit. They were like -8, I think, going into the game. So they had a little bit of tendency to maybe put it on the ground. And they did. Just couldn't get on top of a couple of those early fumbles, but then the pick kind of turned it.
Yeah, it was a great play. EP, very instinctive. I've seen him make that play in practice a lot, baiting the quarterbacks into throwing the corner. And he did exactly that on Saturday and kind of baited him, jumped the out route just enough where the quarterback felt he could make the play, and Eli fell off and made a great play. I honestly thought he was going to go score, but I guess he's lost it in his old age.
It's been a long time.
Well, it got called back anyway because Feeney was over there molesting the quarterback. You can see that. I could see why he was – because he started blocking him. It looked like the old the road grader play. He just kept shoving him up. He must have shoved him 15 yards before he finally pancaked him.
He doesn't have an off button. Unless he gets hurt, and then he gets hurt, and to drag him off, and he figures it out, and he gets back on there. But, he's the good kind of psycho when he's on your team.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe Feeney.
Yeah,
sure.
he's who was like that when the old – you guys are probably too young for this, but Bill Romanowski. If he was on your team, he was the greatest pain in the butt to every other opponent. But if you played against him, he was just I can't even say the word. But,
dirty.
Yes.
That's the word you're looking for.
But when he's on your team, boy, you love him.
Well, the game kind of a slugfest. That first quarter before that was 3-0. They had went down the field. They had the big scramble play. That's how you worry about when the quarterback. How long before the game did you know he was going to be the starter?
Well,
the warm-ups?
We didn't know.
Yeah,
we didn't know. It wasn't until I talked to Coach Sturbick before the game. I said, "What's wrong with your quarterback?" And he said, "Hopefully he'll be back next week." So
he was concussed. Is that was?
Yeah. I didn't know.
No, well, we said it
out there.
There's no HIPAA.
I don't know.
Concussion. He's a football player.
I don't know. So I just
and that's last week. So
yeah. Anyways, who knows?
But the other guy, that was his strength, kind of the scrambling ability, and he hit you with a few runs. I think he ended up 70 or 80 yards rushing in the game. That was where he was dangerous.
Yeah, he did a good job of when things got muddy down the field that he would pull it. And I think our defensive line did a really good job of kind of getting in his head early.
Yeah,
and instead of keeping his eyes downfield, he started to look for rush lanes and things of that nature pretty early in his progression. And ultimately, I think that helped us pretty tremendously, and we were able to get some pressure on him. And, he did make a couple big plays with his arms, a couple big plays with his legs. But ultimately, our defense did a great job on Saturday. Offense finished with touchdowns, which is huge for us. And really outside of that first score, felt pretty in control for most of the game, and every time they would score, we would score again, and kind of kept them at bay for most of that game. And defense, talk about when you need stops. I know we had 2 turnovers in that game, and they put the ball on the ground a couple other times we didn't get, but those fourth down stops, and
it's like a turnover.
Exactly right. It is a turnover, and I think we stopped them 3 times.
Well, you put 3rd and 4th down together combined for them, and they were terrible. And that was a difference in the game for your defense. But your defense played that good on the short yardage stuff.
Well, we talk a lot about, how do you be good on 3rd down? It's being good on 1st and 2nd down. And Colorado School of Mines going into that game was one of the top 3rd down offenses in the country. They were over 50% conversion ratio. And so for them, for us to do to them what we did on Saturday, it was just we were really good on 1st and 2nd down, and the odds are not in your favor when you're in 3rd and long,
And defensively, they proved they're pretty good. They kind of stymied you a couple times on short yardage themselves, flying around to the football, made it difficult on you.
Yeah, that was an area where we've got to continue to improve and get better. I think just always looking for a way to improve and the last 4 minutes of the game when it's a 4-minute situation and we're not going to throw it and they know we're not going to throw it. Like how do we pick up first downs? How do we pick up first downs when it's 3rd and short when they know we're going to run it? We got to get better and we got to improve in that area. And I think we have a really good plan going into this week to improve in that area. But ultimately, again, like it's a good team, and I said it from the get-go. They have 2 losses. That makes them more dangerous than if they had no losses because they're fighting for their lives.
Desperation.
Right. Exactly
sure.
right.
And it's a good team with good players playing desperate football.
That know how to win.
Yeah. I mean,
those guys know how to win. They've won. They've played in big games and won in big games. And, they're not just going to, oh, well, we got 2 losses. Oh, well, I guess the season's, no, they're going to come after it, and they did. And, but ultimately our team made more plays when we needed to and came out with a victory on Saturday, which was awesome to see. Proud of these guys.
Well, we talked about pressure. I think you got pressure on the quarterback at the right times. Like you said, you had him a little happy feet there at times, especially seems like a little bit later in the game, had him running around. And like you said, but sometimes you get to running around, you can have a plan. Now, Matoka, he got to running around. You always thought, oh, man, this is the worst thing that could ever happen. This guy kind of showed that he was a freshman, kind of struggled at times getting that ball up the field. But also in the game, I thought you guys offensively, I kind of coined it very opportunistic. You took advantage of every little opportunity you had, and you had some dynamite plays. We'll listen to the plays in the next segment, but I thought the coolest play of the whole game was the fake reverse to Rakowski and then Russell sliding out on the wheel route, and they had no clue. I mean, he was 5 yards behind everybody streaking into the end zone.
Yeah, it was great play design and executed really well, great protection. That play takes a little bit longer because of, what it does, getting the tailback all the way down the field and things of that nature, but O-line did a great job protecting. Roman put it on him, and Howard walked into the end zone.
The only thing that kind of freaked me out a little bit, and I didn't say it on the air, I said it when we went to commercial, is Roman's got a cannon. And those Roman's balls get to the receivers quickly. There's just enough touch there to Howard to make sure that, because you could put that on there a little too quick.
Yeah.
Do your eyes get real big when they're that wide open?
Try not to, but that's one of the hardest throws. It feels like is when they're that wide open.
Yeah.
Because you're just thinking about
don't
anywhere,
miss.
But
right.
Well, and the other huge play was your bomb to Retzlaff when he got off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, once again, wide open.
Yeah.
Makes quarterback pretty easy.
And you recognize that right away? I mean, he beat the corner right off the line
Yeah.
of scrimmage. It was no contest, 5 yards up the field.
I saw they were bringing some pressure. Reggie just made the guy fall pretty much right off the line, and nobody was close to him. And just once again, try not to miss him when he's wide open.
You hit him in stride, and it was a thing of beauty getting up that field like that to score that touchdown. That was that was the relief drive, wasn't it, Phil? Because they scored to make it 21-13. The third down play to Rakowski to get the first down, and then you hit Lucky Dude for the first time this year.
Man, we've been trying to get him a football all year long.
Yeah,
and that puts
finally.
I think that put you in 2nd and 2, and that's where the next play was Retzlaff. It was those 3 plays right in a row.
Yeah, and it was really that call. It was supposed to be a slot fade. And so Reggie's supposed to go outside and goes inside. And, credit to Roman, too, seeing that and putting the ball where he needs to be, and Reggie did the rest.
He was a guest on our show, Kurt.
Yeah.
And we thought, okay, man, that's a good omen. We're going to get him a ball.
You got him one.
Well, it seemed like it was maybe a point of emphasis early in the game. It seemed like the formation, let's call them tight formation, but the wide receivers weren't that far off the ends. You and looked like you were trying to get to the edges a little bit with some passes. Was that by design to get away from their safeties? Or?
Yeah, it's really defenses. They similar to empty. A lot of defenses when they see the offense comes out in an empty formation, they'll have a couple checks that they're going to check to. It's similar with condensed sets. So if there's a condensed set, a lot of times defenses will have 1 or 2 coverages or things that they're going to do to that. And we felt like we had a pretty good grasp on that and what we wanted to do to attack it, and that's why we were using it.
And then late in the game, I mean, it's still a ball game. You got to make some stops. If they get a score there, maybe make it 28-20. They get plenty of time. They could have got a stop, but twice your defense got off the field there late.
Oh, it's huge. Those are the defining drives of the game. Honestly, I think because again, it's a really good offense with really good receivers, and we found a way to get them off the field in a situation where they had to pass the football. And I think it's awesome.
And there was always that fear because Shealy did get behind you late in the first half for the bomb, but
and that was
who came up with the break? Somebody had a great breakup later on. Yeah, Ben Wilson. That was a huge play.
Same formation, same play.
Yeah,
and Ben made a play in the end zone to break that ball up
because it looked like 6 when he released it.
Is that just the hand?
Yeah, and he made the hand.
Just a hand.
The hand came out, got the stop, and then plus there was I want to pick on other coaches. Were you surprised when they didn't go for it on 4th down, even though it was 4th and maybe 10? Maybe that was too tough a nut to crack there when it was about 4 minutes to go, and they decided to punt and play defense and use their timeouts. Were you a little surprised they didn't go for it there? Or?
I don't.
You ever think about that? What would you do then?
I don't. I think at that point, I think he had 2 timeouts still left.
Have to know your team maybe too.
But down 2 touchdowns though.
Yeah, but they were pretty far in their own territory.
About 35. Yeah,
I mean,
and really, I just thought it was all go from that point on. I think that's kind of what we said is it's getting late quick here.
Yeah, but realistically, with the 2-minute timeout and having 2 timeouts, you feel like you get a stop, you're going to have some time to get the ball back, right?
Okay.
And I think you don't go, you do go for it and don't get it, and then they convert and it's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
Yeah, Eli, talk a little bit about you. You've been around a lot of this Mines rivalry. Roman, this is the first time he's ever played against him. This you're what, 5th time, 4th time, so
just about.
Yeah, Roman says, "What's the big deal? 1-0."
Yeah, you're 1-0, and Eli finally beat him.
Oh yeah, it's a blessing though. We got to get this one this year. Past 5 years, it's been a struggle. It's been a fight all the time. They got really good players, every year. So it just feels good to finally come out on top.
How relieved were you to line up and go through everything and not see Matoko on the other side?
Yeah, Matoka's a good quarterback. I mean,
he just made plays.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, what do you expect? And then I just think that this year, I think we really honed in, especially defensively. Like, hey, you got to win your one-on-ones if you expect to, make it far. So I think we take pride in that every week, every practice, getting better, 1% better every day.
All right, we'll come back after this timeout. We'll listen to some of those big plays of the game. We got 7 of them, I think, lined up. They're all the huge plays of the ball game. Pack Football Show brought to you by Rustler Implement, your local premier Kubota Case International Harvester and New Holland dealer. Please like their Facebook business page for a chance to win one of 2 $100 gift cards and receive all the updates and promotions they are offering. Same name, same family since 1960. What are we booing about here? We got a goal or something? I don't know. You're booing. Maybe they're booing you, Joe.
Never.
All right, well, we'll figure it out.
Never
we'll come back.
Me. Come on.
Pack Football Show. We are at ThunderZone Pizza Tap House. Still plenty of time to get down here. Enjoy the hot honey and a nice cold one and some.
Look at Roman loves the hot honey.
Yeah, get after it. That'll be good stuff. We'll be back after this timeout. Pack Football Show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
This is the Pack Football Show on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head over to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap with your hosts Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with Thunderwolves head coach Philip Vigil.
And welcome back, ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House, Pack Football Show. Thunderwolves up 1-0 in the old soccer match over there on the pitch at the Art. I haven't done a CSU Pueblo soccer match before. I've done a couple of lacrosse matches up there at the Art. That soccer team, 12 Trees. You met 12 Trees? You like him?
Oh, he's awesome.
He's kind of different dude, isn't he?
He's a great coach.
Yeah. He's really turned that program around. It used to be kind of like the afterthought program.
It used to be, but, yeah. But when you make a concerted effort to put resources into something and then get people in charge and know what they're doing, look what happens.
That'll
play
do
for
it.
an Addy or 2.
He's got some athletes on that team. I've seen him in the weight room, and I'm like, that kid looks like a safety. That kid looks like a receiver. Like they got some good-looking kids.
Steel City Solar and Roofing is proud to serve the Southern Colorado community as a locally owned company. Uphold the values that matter to you. They proudly partner with San Isabel Electric, provide the best solutions for all your energy needs alongside solar and roofing. They're now your premium Tesla dealer in Pueblo, offering Tesla Powerwalls, batteries, and EV chargers. Can't wait to continue serving The community with the best in energy solutions.
It's nice that you
Steel
can
City
read that
Solar
this
and
week.
Roofing. I know, yeah.
You know,
Braley made me memorize it.
So
And try it.
we had Braley and Kate on last week, right? Okay. So
that's the reason I botched the recording of the show, so it's gone forever.
Yeah. So Braley was like, you don't know that by heart. You don't have that memorized. So
I do have a recording, but it's faint. It's on the wrong channel. You can hear him in the background. It's like, well, this isn't good enough to put back out there. All right, we're ready for some plays.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm ready for some plays. Well, we talked about Mines got on the board first in the game, led it 3-0. Thunderwolves offense struggling a bit in the first quarter, but the defense came up with a big play to get everybody going.
EP.
Looks left. Fires left and intercepted. Here come the Thunderwolves back up the field. Pittman. He's across the 40 down to the 35-yard line. Underthrown. That's a now flag comes down as Feeney just decks Capra after the play is over. Thunderwolves going down to the end zone to celebrate. Well, they're saying the ball was still, but no, that's not the case.
They just celebrate in the end zone regardless.
Yeah, we were wondering about that.
Yeah, you can't do that in college, guys.
We brought that up.
It's the NFL.
We're gonna celebrate.
Yeah,
you can't do that, guys.
I was surprised you guys didn't get flagged. Was that? Did you get a little bit of a lecture from the officials? Or they just let it go?
Already know. They already know what's going to happen if they get flagged. So they've been better.
Yeah, so they rolled the dice that was going to happen.
They already flagged once on that play.
Yeah, it's like, well, you got to penalize us again.
Yeah, Feeney will have fun at Breakfast Club next Monday.
Oh,
I give him a pass.
Well, I'm glad you do, but I don't.
because it was just funny the way it looked, because you can see it on the television coverage. Also, this guy goes steamrolling out of the play.
I was hot on the sideline.
yeah, we saw.
I was not happy. My son was like, "Dad, why did you say those words?"
We know. Where's Peyton? He's over there.
He's over here.
He's grubbing.
All right, so they get the big play on defense. It sets up the first big play on offense. Give it to Russell. Little jab step. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Thunderwolves.
There is your little pause, Jim. That's the hesitation right there.
He does have that little hesitation move, and looked like all the flow was going left, and then the hole opened a huge hole. Right?
He does such a good job of sticking his foot in the hole, making a defender commit to that hole, and then he's out. And he's had a great year. Proud of him.
All right, so the extra point was good. Made it 7-3. We kind of counterpunched each other the rest of the second quarter, but late in the second quarter, Thunderwolves finally get a drive going, and this time one of the greatest plays you'll ever see. Very good design. Time Murkowski motion left. Fakes. They fake the reverse. Here comes pressure. They go up wide open. It's Russell. Touchdown! What a play! The wheel route by Howard Russell. He sprung wide open in the secondary, and Fuller nailed him.
How long do you think Rayleigh Brown has had that one in his back pocket for the Thunderwolves?
Nice to have that one in the back pocket, huh?
Has that been in the playbook, or did you just put it in?
We've been working it for, I don't know, like 6 or 7 weeks now in practice. It's never looked anywhere close to as open as that against the scout team. So I wasn't a huge believer in it, but once we got out there, it just worked perfect. It was awesome.
I didn't say it often during the broadcast. That might have been one of the rare times they got pressure. They sacked you eventually in the fourth quarter when they were a little desperate there on the goal line, but kept you pretty clean the entire ball game.
Yeah,
last 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. I mean, the O-line's doing a great job, man. Just Sinan, our center, one of the smartest football players I've ever got the pleasure of playing with. That's for sure. That was a lot of P's in that sentence.
Yes, it was. Very alliterative there, Roman.
And you learn in your broadcast the popping P's and Q's. You got to be careful of the popping P's and Q's.
My apologies.
That's all right.
But and like you were saying, though, offensive line, they seem very comfortable in pass pro.
Mm-hmm.
Do they not?
They are, and that's just awesome as a quarterback to see guys that know where they're going, know who they're accounting for, and then knowing they're going to block them. So. It's great, man. They're doing a great job.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of tension in this game. Even though the Thunderwolves had the lead for, after falling behind 3-0, you had the lead for the rest of the game. But there were moments where you felt a little pressure. But this helped to relieve a little bit of pressure. It might not have been a touchdown, but they called it a touchdown.
Twice.
Going for it all, looking for Retzlaff, and he is being mugged, and he caught it. Touchdown! What a catch by Retzlaff!
Mines is going to challenge this one, Jim, because they think he was bobbling the ball. And look at the cornerbacks are going to say, challenge this because he was bobbling the ball.
Yeah, one guy ran off the field for Mines all the way over there. Will Ramsey saying, challenge that. He never had it.
And I think he might be right.
You might be right, but they put it up on the big screen, the replay, which is a rarity anymore. We always call for that. Put it up there. Let's look at it. And by looking at it, I said, well, there's no way they can overturn it. There was no angle that showed it. They never had the one that might have showed him bobbling. Number 41 had a helmet cam. Maybe they overturned it. What was your view of it?
It was hard for me to see because his back was turned. The way the ball was placed, and then he kind of turned his back to me where I was on the sideline. And I just assumed he caught it because that's what Reggie does.
Yeah, it's a great – that's what he does.
That's what he does.
Why doubt it?
We've seen him do that so many times.
Well, he got ripped off earlier this year. I thought he had a touchdown grab, but they didn't give him.
That's what he said. He said that was a makeup call is what he said. So
yeah, the one hand job that was against Grand Valley, wasn't it? Down the sideline.
But what?
Pause. You got to say pause after that one.
I don't know what I said. I'm sorry.
That's all right. But what I don't get with replay is they're looking at a live stream feed.
Okay.
They're not looking at 8 cameras in slow mo that TV production would have. They're looking at 2 stationary cameras, one at one end, one at the other one, or one at midfield. So you're not going to get a clean view. Usually not going to get a clean view. I don't think we've seen a call overturned.
No, never.
Not one.
And right now, I can't wait till about 2 hours from now when I'm listening to the replay.
You have seen one?
Yeah, last year I got one overturned.
For you or against you?
For us, with Chance when he got cheap shotted by the kid from Mesa.
Oh, that is true. Okay. So yeah,
there's that on the field.
No, they didn't call it targeting.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, I remember that exactly. All right, so
like 1 for 8.
Yeah, well, I want to know what the league average. I mean, has there been 5 throughout the RMAC in 2 years that have been overturned?
Well, we'll move on a little bit later in the action. At this point, Mines had scored. It was 21-13. Things were a little tight. It was 3rd down. It was a tough call. You don't want to go 3 and out. Give Mines a hot offense to get right back out on the field. And I thought this was a pretty cool play to pick up a 1st down and keep the drive alive. Claps his hands. Takes the snap. Steps up. Fires a left. Caught. Rakowski's got the 1st down up the sideline. Little crossing route, kind of a pick play, a mini pick play by Retzlaff, although he didn't set a pick. He just kind of interfered with the defender there. Did I call that right? I don't think he made contact with anybody. It was just kind of I don't think he even rubbed him. It just kind of made it uncomfortable for the defender to get to him.
Had to go around him.
Right. So that's the whole key to it, is not making contact. You got to.
If you touch him, it's a flag, technically, not always. But, just Reggie's everyone on the defense knows where Reggie is for the most part. So him coming in there, making the safety go all the way around him, set a great pick.
Well, talk about Rakowski. I mean, you got the 2 home run hitters in Retzlaff and, of course, Toscas. But, man, Rakowski is a nice little safety valve to come up with some big plays, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an awesome football player, man. He's fast. He's got great hands. He's really smart. He understands where defenses are, and he understands where he has to be and when he has to be there. So
I called him the Loveland Lightning Bolt from the time I saw him because, when you're of his stature, you have to be fast.
Yeah,
he's also tough, and he's got great hands.
Yeah,
and when he got in the end zone, where did he get in the end zone? Western.
Mm-hmm.
I never seen a kid.
Should have had another one.
I know, but you know what I'm saying. He was just. Is that finally when you're used to catching them all the time? But you got Taylor and Reggie, and then you got Zach. Then you forget about Nigel. But then you're starting to get these other guys now that are starting to see some playing time more and more in those sets. But you seem like you're comfortable throwing to anybody.
Yeah, I am.
I know you're really comfortable throwing to Reggie. I mean, I think a dead person would be comfortable throwing to Reggie. But
I would hope so.
But you know what I mean? I think you don't. It seems like you're pretty comfortable who's ever in whatever set.
I am for sure. I mean, everyone out there is putting in just as much work as anybody else. Everyone's trying to get on the field, working hard, and knows where they have to be. All you got to do is throw it to them.
Nice.
All right. Well, you said it's fun throwing to Reggie. Why don't we throw him one right here? Let's go. Here we go. Big play. He goes in motion wide to the right. Straight drop back by Fuller. They look down the middle. They got Red Slap wide open. 30, 25, 20, 10. Touchdown, Thunderwolves.
That is your player of the year in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Reggie Resloff, if he's not player of the year, then something is wrong.
Man, what a play. And it was such a quick beat when you beat a cornerback that bad right off the jump like that. And then you see that. I'm sure your eyes, don't overthrow him, right?
For sure. That's exactly what I was thinking. I saw recognized cover 0, and they had, I don't know who it was, guarding Reggie, but Reggie against anybody in cover 0 is just like a Christmas present,
Why would they do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, desperate
times
call for desperate measures.
Trying to get a sack, I guess.
Trying to make a play, and then you made the play against them.
Right.
All right, so that was that big play. Now they get the ball back, and they're moving it a little bit. Phil, I told you about this. When you look at the replay of the video, it looks like McLeod is open, streaking across the back of the end zone, but Dramani makes a huge play right here.
Let's get their substitution package in they want here. Press coverage on this side of the field. A little cushion on the right side. Capper takes the snap. He looks right. Here comes pressure. Steps up in the pocket, gets away, trying to run for his life. Now fires it, deflected, incomplete. He was looking to the back of the end zone. What a great play. We talked about him all day. Dramani Jackson might have made the play of the game right there.
Dramani Jackson is he's getting more and more playing time each and every week. He's come up with some big picks. Great play.
And talk about the play, Phil, that he made right there.
Oh, it was great. I mean, Dre's only a freshman. He's a redshirt freshman, but he's just very sticky, very instinctive.
Was he the spy there, or what was his role on that play, or did he just read it?
Yeah, he just read it. Yeah, he did a great job. I don't know if he fell off of coverage on that, actually.
Just intelligent play.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He seems to have, you all do, but he seems to have kind of a nose for where the play's going.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's kind of been in the right spot. I'm sure some of that's by design, but he seems to have that feel to go with the flow and get in the right spot.
Yeah, we had a special package for them defensively, that we were doing that we hadn't done all year long. We called it Donkey, and where we took a linebacker out and put another DB in. And those receivers are really good, and they've been very good through the air. And so we were trying to put our best cover guys out there on the field to match up and do what we need to do. And he made a great play.
Before we get to the last highlight, we mentioned spy. It looked like that was kind of Seidenberger's job, wasn't it during the game? Because he had he got some big shots on that game.
Yeah, he did a good job. He did a really good job. It's something that we've been implemented, the last couple of years, and it's not new, but just when you have a quarterback that's athletic like that can run, you got to account for him. And we've done a good job with that, especially after that first series. I think, we were like, okay, here we go. We got to put a spy on this kid so he doesn't do what he did that first series, which was the big run, the big scramble.
Yeah, it looked like they made one little adjustment on the one drive where it looked like a design quarterback draw, and they had a guard out there trying to block Gary, but Gary kind of shucked him off and got him down.
Yeah, Gary's very instinctive as well, and I think he's going to have an opportunity to be as good as he wants to be. Gary's a special player.
All right.
Seidenberger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not Seidenberger. Seidenberger. We keep hearing that when we had Gary on the show. It's like, hey, but
Gary will fight you.
Best defensive player on the team. We need to get his name right. All right, we got one final big play. It's the play that seals the deal right here.
Sheely ball picked off by Rulo. Back up the sideline he goes. 25. Get on the turf, Mr. Rulo, and he does. And then McLeod kind of body slams him at the end, tries to get away because he knows he was a little extra there he gave to Rulo. Kind of a parting shot there, but the Thunderwolves let McLeod know about it as he heads back toward the other sideline.
Yeah, I thought you guys showed a little restraint there because McLeod, that was kind of uncalled for, a little extra body slam he gave, and you guys kind of gave over there and said, let's get out of here, let's go to the sideline. That could have escalated there, I thought.
They did when the game was out of reach, they did a couple of things on Saturday that were not ideal, and our guys handled themselves very well. So proud of them for that. Caden, 2 weeks in a row, Just go down.
Yeah, exactly.
Goodness gracious.
He likes to run around a little
But
bit.
they teach him to go to the house, don't you?
Score.
That's how you guys are coached.
Oh yeah, trying to
It's,
score.
it's like you told me all week to go to the house, and now you tell me to get out. What do you
Well, I
want?
kind of like the way he kind of took a look, and then he said,
Yeah,
then he's like, I better get out right here. It's almost like I could hear that inner
I'm glad
voice.
you liked it.
It was the inner voice, the inner voice in the head. All right, there's our highlights. And we'll come back. We'll take questions. If you got a question for the coach or any of the players here, 719-671-7574. 719-671-7574. We don't have anything from JB or JC this week on X, do we?
No, because
All right.
the coordinators aren't here. When the coordinators were here, they got peppered with questions. And the two people that peppered them with questions, us. Because we had a lot of questions about a lot of things that those coordinators do. And you can't, we talk about it during the game, but you can't, but when they're sitting right here, you could take their brain and say, what are you thinking?
Russell, remember that your local Premier Kubota, Case IH, and New Holland dealer. Please like their Facebook business page for a chance to win one of two $100 gift cards and receive all the updates and promotions they are offering. Same name, same family since 1960. Pack Football Show right here on Fox Sports Pueblo.
This is the Pack Football Show on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head over to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap with your hosts Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with Thunderwolves head coach Philip Vigil.
And welcome back, ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House. Thunderwolves still leading 1-0 over there on the pitch. Kind of put a dent in our attendance here tonight at the old Pack Football Show, but that's all right. They're here in spirit.
I love that they're going to,
I like Rock's picture here on the table. Rock's in spirit there.
that it's a lot cheaper tonight without Rock. To get the little hamburgers in the bowls.
Steel City Solar and Roofing is proud to serve the Southern Colorado community as a local-owned company. Uphold the values that matter to you. Proudly partner with Santa Isabel Electric to provide the best solutions for all your energy needs. Alongside solar and roofing, they are now your premium Tesla dealer in Pueblo, Colorado, offering Tesla Powerwalls, batteries, and EV chargers. Can't wait to continue serving our community with the best in energy needs. Steel City Solar and Roofing. Before we get to the questions, I thought it was interesting in Super Region 4 this past weekend. The top 7 teams all won in Super Region 4. The bottom 3 all lost of like 8, 9, and 10. So the rankings stay pretty much exactly the same as they were a week ago. Do you kind of pay attention to the rankings there, Phil?
Of course. Yeah, it's good to – obviously you won't know what's going to happen until Sunday at 4 o'clock, but you want to know and be able to plan and have scenarios in your head of what you think is going to happen, who you might be playing, things of that nature.
Well, there's math involved.
Yeah.
And, all these KPs or these PIs or PLs or whatever but there's also a little bit of a human element. The committee looks at head-to-heads. They look at some good loss, bad loss kind of things. They look at strength of schedule. They look at how many Division IIs or things like that. So there's discussion that goes along with the numbers. So what you see number-wise may not be exactly what you see when those final rankings come out.
Correct.
Well, that's one of the questions we got in here. Somebody wants to know, well, is it a done deal if we win, we're number one, or do you just have to sit and wait?
No, it's not. Augustana, they're playing Bemidji State this weekend, who is in the regional rankings as well for the playoffs.
That's at Bemidji, correct?
I believe so,
yeah.
Yep. And so that it'll be – I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens on Sunday, but the most important thing for us is taking care of business on Saturday, and that's what's foremost on our mind. That's what we've got to focus on is how to play our best game against Shadron State. And really everything else outside of that will take care of itself.
All right, first question is Ken down there in the Ozarks. He wants to know, what's the RMAC scholarship limit up to now?
It's 36, just like
it's been?
Yep.
Is that where it's going to be capped for a while? Or
That's Division II. So
it's a Division II rule.
Division II is 36 scholarships. So Division II is 36 scholarships, full scholarships. Division I FCS has 63 scholarships, and Division I FBS has 85 scholarships.
Now, and it's up to the school if they can go up to 36. Correct. A lot of schools are not fully funded in football scholarships.
Correct.
And so that I think that's because I remember when CSU Pueblo first started, they had the scholarship, I think it was 26 or 28.
The RMAC used to have a cap because not everyone in the league could get to 36.
Right.
And so they wanted to make the league competitive within the league, but it really handicapped you when you went and played playoffs. And so they gradually worked out of that, and now we're the same as everyone else.
When Minnesota Duluth walked out of the visitors' locker room for the first time in the playoffs, when CSU Pueblo got to host Minnesota Duluth, they go, okay. That's why you need that many scholarships, because it looked like an NFL team walking out that door. Like,
it was 2011.
Oh my God.
And it was like, what are we in for? But then that was a great game.
It was fun.
24-21.
But
what
it was
a game
just a size difference. You could just tell it was just.
They won the national championship the year before that.
Yeah.
I played them in Duluth when I was at Northwest Missouri.
Okay.
We played them in the semifinals that year. And that was when they did ESPN would do they would air the semifinal games.
Sure.
Yeah, we were the primetime game because Northwest had won 5 in a row. And so we were playing at 6 o'clock at night in Duluth.
Oh my.
The second week of December. The wind coming off of, I don't know what Great Lake it is, Lake Erie or one of the two up there. And it was on the field, it was negative 16. It was the coldest game I've ever been a part of in my life.
Yeah.
We didn't win that game, and we were the better team, unfortunately, and we did not win that game.
Yeah, they came in. It was quite the battle. Okay, listener 6 wants to know, what are the key points to beating Chadron State, and what are the strengths of their team?
Well, I mean, I think the things for us don't change depending on who we're facing. I think for us, it's about playing for each other and playing to our standard. And if we have 11 guys on the field that are doing their job, we really feel good about the talent that we have on this team. We feel really good about the schemes that we have on this staff, and putting our guys in good positions to go make plays. And so those things never change week in and week out. It's about us doing our job and playing for each other and playing to our standard.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to answer the second part of the question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot that Chadron does well. Their defense is – I'm sure we're going to talk about their Chadron in this next segment, but their defense is really, really good. Probably the best we've seen since Grand Valley.
All right. This is a very important question coming in. Wants to know really deep down, would you rather throw the ball or would you rather run the ball?
What's the situation?
Yeah, we need to. There's
we need some
different
more context
scenarios. Yeah, let's go 2nd and 4. What would you rather do?
I want to win. That's what I want. So it doesn't matter to me. I don't care what we do. I just want to win the game.
Roman, what do you want to do? Don't be afraid. You want to chuck it.
Nope. Want to win.
All right. Yeah.
If you want to win a national championship in Division II.
Look, the receivers coach is over there saying you want to throw the ball.
Oh, Coach Atkinson.
He wants to throw
the ball deep.
Coach Dodge wants to run the ball. He wants about 14 tight ends on the field at once.
Yes. Do you guys have 14 personnel?
We're gonna increase the scholarships in the tight end group, and we're gonna get 14 of those guys in there.
Well, speaking of the tight ends, I thought another one of the key plays of the game. I didn't put it in the highlight package, but Bozzy's kind of come on as your little tight end group when you come out there, and he caught that pass, and you able to draw the personal foul on the sideline right in front of you guys.
Bozzy, honestly, he had a great fall camp, and he had a good first game against South Dakota Mines, and then I think he broke his thumb. He broke his thumb and was out for like 6 weeks, and so he just came back and is kind of starting to get back into the rhythm of where he was before he got hurt, and
he looks like he plays with a little edge.
You know what? He was a quarterback in high school. He played 8-man football in Nevada and was a quarterback. And
that's a big quarterback.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
So he's not afraid of contact.
No,
he likes to get out there and mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, his future is very bright for sure.
You like the 3 tight end set when you see those 3 big guys out there?
He's usually not in the field when we have those guys.
Okay, so it's So
usually Stevie.
Yeah,
out there.
That's right. When you have 3 of them at the time.
Someone a little bit more athletic.
Oh
than
man,
Roman.
There's a rumor that says you've never taken a snap under center.
We took one on Saturday, didn't I?
Yes,
victory formation. That's right.
Was that one? Well, no, that doesn't count.
I don't know.
Technically, it's an under center.
It is,
snap.
but I mean, in a non-victory formation, have you ever taken a snap under center in a college game?
No, sir.
Not
true.
one.
That's his dad's fault.
Yep, that's true.
Well, you threatened to run one time in this game, and you got right up to the line of scrimmage. It was just perfect, right to the edge, and it kind of opened things up when you got that play down the field.
Yeah, I threw it, and I took my steps after, and I looked at where I was, and I was 100% positive that I was past the line of scrimmage. I was like, oh,
no.
man. But I guess I wasn't. So
Yep.
it worked out great.
You were like,
I guess
it looked right on the line.
You got to be 100% by it, don't you? Isn't that the rule?
Yeah, if you have a pinky toe still behind the line,
you're okay.
You're good.
So you were good.
Yeah.
All right. So
he's got an extra long pinky toe for those.
All right, you got any questions there, Joe?
That was my one, and I wanted to ask Roman that because there was the rumor. Because, and I'll give you a little bit of context real quick. Is third in inches, second in inches, fourth in inches, still a shotgun, and it's a little bit infuriating at times to those who are not on the field. We
had that question last week from JB.
But then we had Braley Brown saying, "Well, Roman's never taken a snap under center in his life."
True.
So
it's true.
So
I took one QB sneak in high school, and I got hit right in the face. That was the last one.
Well, the Chiefs never run quarterback because Mahomes got hurt the one time.
Yep.
And
that's who his coach was in high school.
Who was your coach in high school?
It was my dad.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
All right. Well,
nice.
Thanks, Dad. All right. See, we got to do our main sponsor. Right?
Well, what?
Rustler Implement.
Bart has not been to a show yet.
I'm kind of glad at this point.
Well,
don't mess up the karma now.
They like their Facebook business page and for a chance to win 2 of $100 gift cards and receive all their updates. Same name, Sam family since 1960. That's a long time.
Implements.
That's a year before I was born. You know what? You know what day's my birthday, by the way? Saturday.
Is it really?
You know what I want for my birthday?
A conference championship.
A conference championship outright from Chadron, Nebraska. All right, we'll talk about that. We'll come back. Pack Football Show, final segment to go. We'll talk about Chadron State right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
This is the Pack Football Show on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head over to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap with your hosts, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with Thunderwolves head coach, Philip Vigil.
And welcome back, ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House, final segment of the Pack Football Show. Steel City Solar and Roofing, proud to serve the Southern Colorado community as a locally owned company. They uphold the values that matter to you. Proudly partner with San Isabel Electric, provide the best solutions for all your energy needs alongside solar and roofing. They're now your premium Tesla dealer in Pueblo, offering Tesla Powerwalls, batteries, and EV chargers. Can't wait to continue serving the community with the best in energy solutions. Proud sponsor of the Pack Football Show, Steel City Solar and Roofing. All right, Chadron State. Ball game, final regular season game of the season. Chadron State, it's always fun to go up there. I mean, they know football up there. They had a great tradition.
Oh, yeah.
Back when that was all, John Riston said, this is our red letter game. This is when we're going to find out if we're a literally legitimate program. And the second year in existence, went up there and beat them. Joe was there.
That was the greatest. I'll give a quick story so I know we want to talk. So this program was new here at CSU Pueblo. It's only the second year. And I wanted to do a first-person road trip with the team to Chadron because, that red letter game. So I rode with the team on the bus.
And the year before, they came in and just
annihilated
the snot out of us.
Yeah, so it was just bludgeoning.
Yeah.
So I go up there and the pregame speech was Hunter Hughes, the former defensive coordinator here at CSU Pueblo, gave this pregame speech in the locker room at Chadron about going into Chad's house. Chad, because that's what Riston used to call him.
Yeah, Chad.
Not Chadron, Chadron. So he gives this impassioned speech, and they go out and they upset him. And there was people at Chadron were like, "Who is this team?"
Yeah,
and they haven't looked back.
Yeah,
it was one of the great fun 6.5 hour bus trips back I've ever been on.
And probably in the top 10 memorable games in CSU Pueblo history, probably 4 of them against Chadron State, I would think. A couple of them up there and a couple of great games here. So it's always been – they're always very physical, and I'm sure, Phil, that's the first thing that grabs your attention. They're a physical football team, and they know how to play defense, and they probably should have a couple, maybe 3 more wins than they have. They got kind of unlucky a little bit at the end in a couple of ball games.
Well, I think, you look at this team and you look at their record and you see that they're 3-7, and that is the farthest thing from what we see on film.
Right.
I mean, they've got 5 games that they've lost that are within 1 score.
Should have beat Mines. Should have beat Western last week.
And that was with a true freshman quarterback.
Right.
And They had a kid from San Diego State that transferred in that was a quarterback for them early, got hurt against Nebraska Kearney in, like, I think the first or second series. And they struggled to kind of get an offensive identity early. And when he was in playing for them, they were scoring a lot of points and throwing the ball all over the field. I mean, I think they threw for 400 yards against Black Hills, and I think he got hurt again against Black Hills. And so they're finding their offensive identity again, and you can kind of see who they wanted to be last week against Western Colorado, But defensively, they're probably one of the best teams we've seen since Grand Valley, realistically. They are big up front. They've got guys that can rush the passer. Their linebackers are really, really talented. I think they did a really good job in the offseason of addressing some secondary issues and got some guys in the secondary that can cover. Because you go back to last year, the game that we played against them there, we end up winning 28-3, but all of those touchdowns were big play touchdowns,
right?
And they did a good job in recruiting of addressing those needs. And so, we're gonna have to play our best game on Saturday. I really feel that way. And
you look at the opposition point total in the games they've lost. There's only one time they gave up 30 some odd points in the game. Most of the time it's 20s or teens.
Well, they gave up 33 points against Highlands, and outside of that, the most that they've given up is 24 points. And even last week, Western beats them 21-17. Well, 7 of those points are, on a pick six,
right?
And I mean, we placed that offense the week before, and that's a good offense. And Drew Nash was, doing some really good special things, and they made Drew didn't look like Drew against them, and so we
softened him up.
They did. We did? I don't know. I don't know about that, but I do know that they're talented defensively. They're working to find their offensive identity. I think they found it in the Pearson kid and what they're going to do. They're going to try to run the ball with the quarterback, and in my opinion, they're going to probably try to hold on to the football and keep our offense off the field. And
try to shorten the game a little bit, probably. Huh?
I would. And I think for us, we need to be efficient offensively. We need to finish drives with touchdowns, not field goals. And when we have our opportunities to get the football on defense, we need to go take the football away and do what we can.
Eli, you've been part of this CSU Pueblo Shadron rivalry for a while now.
Yes,
have you tried to impart what that means to teammates like Roman, who this will be the first time he's ever seen a Shadron? And you got some new guys coming in and some young guys going to Shadron for the first time. Do you kind of impart on what kind of game this is going to be?
Yeah, we talk about it as like a player-led type of thing. We're like, Risso comes in and talks to us. He talks about how it's a red letter game, and it means a lot. So these type of games is where it's like smash mouth football. You need to nut up and like go to work. You know what I'm saying? And these games are like the biggest rivalry, so it can go any which way. So we need to really lock in and go to work. You know what I'm saying?
I guess that's important in a game like this, have a great start and establish yourself early on. Physicality, I guess, match them because they're going to come out flying, so you want to make them fly after you, I guess. You want to be the ones flying as well.
Yeah, I think, the history of what everyone is talking about is important. The history of the red letter game, which is why Coach Risson came in on Monday and talked to them about why he circled this game as the red letter game and why this game means so much and finding a way to give this much more this week, and whether that's this much more in your film prep or this much more, effort in practice and indie drills when you've done the same indie drills for the last 4 months, and can you find a way to still be great, and again, for us, it's the next one on the schedule, and it's important. There's a lot of things that are riding on this game, and so we're going to come in Shadron on Saturday ready to play, and it is going to be a physical football game.
Well, we talked about it 3 weeks ago. It's playoff mode. It's a playoff game.
It is.
You got to to get where you want to get. You feel like you got to win this game. You get back in, I guess, and lose, but man, it makes life a lot more rosy if you win this game.
Well, you want to win every game, and we can't control what's going to happen after this game. We can control Thursday morning practice, and how our effort and our attitude and our intensity at Thursday morning practice. And that's the highest thing on my list of to-dos is have a great Thursday morning practice. And we've had a great 2 practices so far. you know, we're going to continue to prep and do what we need to do from a mental standpoint. So on Saturday we can go out and play free.
Well, the good news is this week no snow shoveling.
No, and it's good. Weather's supposed to be good, but this looks how like how this team is built. You guys are playing your best football against quality competition now. I mean, you had the bye, and you played Black Hills. You had the bye, then you had Western and Mines, and I mean, it's setting up to be like the way it's supposed to be. But you're playing good football against good teams.
I actually told the team that today. I said the physicality in the game this weekend is going to be very similar to what it's going to be like in the playoffs. You know, I said we better be ready to go.
Yeah, I mean that a good test, and it'll have that feel up there. Senior day for them.
Yep, they're honoring 20 seniors.
Yeah, I tell Jim, I old story. I used to be a sports writer, and an old basketball coach used to say he'd play anybody on senior day because the seniors had to worry about family and tickets and people coming down and pictures and all that focus is not on the game. Now you guys did a good job. I think you had 10 yards of family on Saturday.
Was quite
the Pittmans they occupied the entire 10-yard hash there, but playing, they're going to go through Saturday what you guys just went through. So that distraction, so you got to capitalize on it.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
All right, we'll be ready for the ball game. It's a little earlier start on Saturday. We're going to go at noon for the kickoff, 11:30 pregame right here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Join Joe Cervi and myself for the call. We'll have it for you from beautiful Chadron, Nebraska. You going up Friday there, Joe?
Yeah, I'm going Friday. I might make a little detour into the fort. The Rams play host to Wyoming on Friday night.
Oh, there you go. That'll be good.
So I might stop and see some football before I turn right in Cheyenne.
All right, there you go. Kajal Lang's been our producer and engineer tonight of the Pack Football Show. We thank Kajal for stepping in for Aaron Konitschke tonight. Ben Greenberg, Sports Information Director. Paul Plinsky, he's giddy. Soccer's up, 2-0?
2 up.
2-0. I'd be giddy as well. That's like being up 90
and he made
an
appearance in the house so that it keeps the streak alive.
I told him last week, I was like, you really rolled the dice last week.
Yeah, putting the picture up against, and it was mine.
I know.
Yeah, the fat head of Paul Plinsky. All right, well, Rock's done the trick this week, so we'll see what happens. All right, join us on Saturday, 11:30 pregame, 12 o'clock kickoff. Chadron State against your Thunderwolves of CSU Pueblo. For Joe Cervi, for Phil Vigil, I'm Jim Brooks. Good night, everybody.